There are moments when the world feels strangely fragile, as if one small shift in attention could make it disappear. You stare at the sky, the trees, the faces passing by, and for a brief instant you sense it. Everything is made of something lighter than matter, as though existence itself is breathing you. You blink, and it all becomes solid again. The noise, the schedules, the unspoken weight of being someone. But that glimpse remains like a whisper. What if the solidity of things is only a habit of the mind? What if the dream never ended? It only learned to call itself real. Science tells us that what we call the world is mostly empty space, vibrations dancing in fields of energy. Philosophy reminds us that everything we know of reality is filtered through perception, sight, sound, thought, memory. But beyond all that, deeper than any model or word, is the direct experience of being aware. And from that awareness, everything else unfolds. Could it be that the mind didn't awaken in the world, but that the world awakened in the mind? A single consciousness, dreaming itself into time and matter, forgetting that the dreamer and the dream were never two. There's a strange kind of loneliness in this realization. If all of it is one vast mind, then who is left to understand it? Who is there to wake up from the dream if the dreamer is the dream itself? Perhaps that's why awareness divided itself, to look back at itself through 1,000 faces, to learn compassion by meeting itself as the other. Every encounter, every story, every lifetime, each one a reflection in the infinite mirror of consciousness trying to remember its own name. And maybe this is why we long so deeply for connection, because deep down, we are searching for the parts of ourselves that we have scattered across space and time. The mystics said it long before the scientists, as within, so without. They didn't mean it poetically. They meant it literally. The universe is not outside you. It's inside the same awareness that's hearing these words right now. The more you look, the stranger it becomes. Dreams don't announce themselves while you're in them. They feel real. Only when you wake do you realize that every sound, every face, every fear was your own creation. So what if this waking life, is just a dream so consistent, so collective, that we forgot who was dreaming? Maybe that's why the patterns repeat, in history, in nature, in our lives. Because the dream keeps revisiting itself, rearranging the same light and shadow to remember something forgotten. What if déjà vu isn't coincidence, but the dream momentarily recognizing its own handwriting? What if synchronicities are the dream reminding itself that it's still whole beneath the illusion of separation? There are stories of people who've crossed the threshold, those who died for a moment and came back. Many say they saw not another world, but this one, clearer, more luminous, as if they had woken up inside the dream. They felt themselves expand beyond the body, merging with everything, everyone, as if consciousness itself had remembered its true size. And when they returned, they spoke of the same truth, that love wasn't an emotion, but the structure of existence itself, the way the dream holds itself together, that everything alive is simply awareness playing all possible forms of remembering. If this is true, if we are the mind that dreamed the world, then the way we live begins to change. Because harming another is like cutting your own hand. Because compassion isn't morality, it's realism. If everything is one awareness, then every act of kindness is the mind healing its own forgetfulness. And maybe that's why some souls seem older than others, not by age, but by how much of the dream they've remembered. They carry a quiet knowing, a softness toward the chaos, because they see through the veil without tearing it. Perhaps reincarnation is not punishment or reward, but curiosity, the mind's endless desire to experience itself from every possible angle, every heart, every lifetime, until even death becomes another kind of awakening. Maybe, when we die, the dreamer doesn't vanish. It simply changes the story it tells itself. Another sunrise, another face, another remembering. And in the end, it all comes back to this. What if awakening is not about escaping the dream, but realizing you were never trapped in it? That the dream was never false, only misunderstood. That reality and illusion are two sides of the same mirror, one reflecting the other, endlessly. The mind that dreamed the world explores the idea that consciousness didn't arise from the world. The world arose within consciousness. Everything we see, feel, and know is experienced through awareness, meaning it all happens in the mind, not outside it. In this view, reality is like a dream, consistent, shared, and self-aware, yet still made of the same stuff as thought. When we forget this, we feel separate and lost. When we remember, we see that every being, every event, every atom is the same awareness wearing different masks. This realization changes how we live, because kindness and empathy are no longer just ideals. They're how the dream remembers its wholeness. Awakening, then, is not the end of the dream. It's the moment we realize we were the dreamer all along. So pause for a moment, forget the noise of the world, and notice what remains. Before every word, every thought, every heartbeat, there is awareness. It doesn't move, but everything moves within it. Look around you and see how everything is appearing in your experience. The trees, the sky, the faces, even the feeling of being you. All of it is seen, felt, remembered within this silent knowing. This is not imagination. It's direct experience. You've never stepped outside of your own awareness, and nothing has ever entered it from beyond. Everything you call reality is how the infinite learns to see itself. The mind dreams shapes and names, and calls that dream the world. But if you listen carefully, you'll notice the world doesn't speak back in language. It speaks in reflection. Every person, every challenge, every joy is a mirror turned toward the same consciousness. Each one whispering, "Remember." When you feel alone, it's the dreamer losing sight of its own reflection. But even loneliness is still part of the dream. A wave rising from the same ocean, searching for the water it was never separate from. Perhaps this is what awakening really means. Not escaping the dream, but seeing through it with gentleness. Understanding that nothing here is truly outside you. The mind projected a sky so vast it could wonder about itself. It imagined stars to remind itself of the light within. It became 1,000 eyes, 1,000 hearts, so it could feel the full texture of being alive. And in every experience, joy, sorrow, victory, loss, the same consciousness is quietly present, learning what it means to be whole by seeming to be many. You can test this now. Close your eyes, even for a breath, and notice the space behind all thought. It isn't blank. It's alive, awake, aware. That's you, not the story, not the identity, but the silent field where the story appears. You've never been just a person having experiences. You are the awareness in which experience happens. You are not a dream inside the universe. You are the universe dreaming of itself through form. And when that becomes clear, not as belief, but as knowing, a deep peace begins to bloom. You see that nothing real can be lost, because everything is made of the same awareness. Even death is not an ending, but the dream changing its rhythm. The light you are doesn't vanish, it only changes the way it shines. And through it all, the dream continues, not as illusion, but as art, an infinite act of creation, where consciousness keeps meeting itself in endlessly new disguises of wonder. So live gently, for every eye you meet is another window of the same mind. Love freely, for every heart you touch beats from the same silence. And when you suffer, remember, even pain is the dream remembering its depth. You don't need to escape this world to wake up. You only need to see it as it is, a living mirror, reflecting the awareness that dreamed it. Everything you seek, everything you fear, everything you love, it's all the same presence, trying to remember that it never began and can never end. You are that presence. You are that dreamer. You are the mind that dreamed the world. And through this very breath, it's remembering itself again.